Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to look at one of my larger portulacaria afras. Um, this is one that I purchased online. Let's see, when was it? I think it was earlier. It was back in last year, 2024. I think in the spring, early summer. So I've had it for a bit, not quite a year yet, but it was decent size when I got it, so it hasn't. I mean, a lot of this size was already there. And I've shown this in a video before, but this was one that my squirrel attack got a hold of, and he kind of gnawed a nice chunk out of the tree there. But I think I mentioned in one of my other videos that I'm now calling this my lightning strike tree. So maybe, a bolt of lightning came down and zapped the tree there and knocked some of the bark off. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm going with anyway. But so this tree's been growing. I did some pruning on it. I took a couple branches off early on and did a little pruning. Not a lot of other stuff to it, just kind of letting it grow. So today, I think I'm going to do a little bit more branch selection. Take some branches off, maybe do some wiring, and kind of thin it out because you can see it's not that as thick over here, very thick and full on this side. Probably bend some of these branches down, like I said, because I always like on these older, bigger trees that I want to portray age to. I like the branches to be a little more horizontal or even drooping down a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna see if I can do today. Then some of this top out. It's got a lot of stuff going on up there. Very full. I was even thinking about, if I wanted to get really drastic, is to, do like a massive trunk chop, something like that, and then regrow a whole new top on it, to make a short squatty tree with a nice big base, and then reroot this top and have a very nice tree just to start off with. If I, this would be my new base around here, and that would be a nice full tree, but I don't know that I've got that in me today. So I think we're just going to go with the tree the way it is. I like the height on it. We'll probably keep that there and just kind of maybe reposition some of these branches, remove some, and just kind of see where it goes from there. Yeah. So this may take a bit. This may be a long video, so I apologize, but I'm just going to take my time and kind of work through it. And it may even be a two-parter. I don't know. I may just work for a while and then come back to it later, but we'll get started and kind of see where it goes. So first, I think some of these branches are down too low, and I originally left them on there just to help some of this trunk heal and thicken up. But I mean, I think it's probably healed as much as it's going to. It'll continue to kind of callus over a little bit, I suppose, but I think I'm going to go ahead and bring the base up, because really, I mean, if you look at the whole bonsai design thing, you're supposed to have, your first branch about a third up the tree, which would be somewhere, I'm guessing, about there. So I think that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to get rid of these two lower branches on the right side. Let this be my first branch. I'll bend that down so it'll be a little more horizontal. Probably get rid of this one here just because of the gradual slope or curve in the trunk where it kind of comes out towards the right, and this branch would be kind of on the outside of that curve. This one is kind of on an inside, if you call this a curve. It's not that extreme, but it is a little bit of a curve. And then it kind of comes back up here, and this branch would be on the outside of this curve, and then kind of alternating on up. So I think I think I will get rid of these branches here, and that way I can bring it up, and I'll probably get rid of this one since it's right across from this one, and just kind of let those kind of stagger on up, because I do one a little bit higher. So here we go. Let's start off with this one over here. And then to make myself feel better when I cut these off, I don't think it is as losing a branch. I'm gaining a tree, because I'll root this, propagate this, and then I'll have a new little tree in the works. So that's the way I get over the trauma of cutting branches off anyway. You just kind of clean that out a little bit there, and that'll callus off, it'll dry up, and then I can, that part that dries up, I can just pick that off. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this branch too, because it's kind of coming out towards the front, and I don't think I need it for the design. So unless I want to keep this one and get rid of this one, but then I am losing quite a bit of growth there. I think I'm going to keep the one above it just because it's thicker. Got a lot more foliage on it, so we'll get rid of this one. And again, I gained a new tree, which I really don't need anymore, but I can't help myself sometimes. I can't let these cuttings go to waste, so I'm sure some of them at least will end up as new trees. Okay, so we'll get cleaned up there, and then now, I said I think I'm going to get rid of this branch. Yep. Go ahead and get rid of this one too. Just a little lower than what I want. Tree number 3. Now the decision is, you really don't want your first back branch lower than your side branch. So I think this back branch here can probably go. Let's see, just trying to look at that and see what it looks like. Yeah, I think I'd be happy with that, because I have this other one right above it that's gonna kind of take its place. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Tree number 4. Yeah, so that's all cleaned up there. Yeah, I'm liking that. These branches here are positioned well. This one works. So I think what I'll work on now is getting this branch bent down. And I think the way I'm going to do that is use a kind of a guy wire sort of thing. So let me find some wire here. I think what I'm going to do first is take a piece of wire and wrap all the way around the pot. And sometimes I'll do this when I need to just bring a branch down, instead of, if I don't have to do a lot of manipulating to it, you know, adding a lot of curves and waves to the branch, where I just want to bring it down a little more horizontal, I'll just create this guy wire like I'm going to do here. Get enough wire to where I can make sure that I get all the way around the pot. That should do it. And there's all sorts of different ways you can do this. I mean, you can run it up through the holes of the bottom of the pot, but this works just as well. So I'll get it up around the pot here, and then I'll just tie it off. Try to get it as tight as I can. Use a little easier on a rectangle pot because it's not going to want to slide around to this narrow part of the oval pot, but this will still work. I'll get it, like I said, get it as tight as I can without breaking the wire. So I'm just twisting it around to get it fairly tight there. And I'll just cut off the excess wire here. Normally I try to get that, I don't think I can move it now, but normally I try to get that to where it's on the back side, but it didn't. Maybe I can loosen it up, and I think it's not going to work, so we'll just leave it there. I'll just try to bend it down so I don't cut myself on it. All right, so that's got me some wire there to work with. So now, let's see if I can find a little piece of tubing. I don't have any tubing, so I'll just use a thicker wire so it's not going to dig into the branch. So what I'm going to do is grab a piece of wire and hook to this, and then up there, and pull that down as much as I can. So let's get one long enough to reach up there and reach the bottom. Okay, so we'll get it anchored on the bottom here first. So I'll just up there, and then I'll give it a good couple twists. And then up here, up around the branch, and then just gradually I'll go up here into the Y part, and then just kind of continue bringing that down to where you want it. And then once you get it down far enough, I think that's good. Could probably go a little bit more. I think that's looking pretty good. Get it down just a little bit more. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then just go ahead and tie that off. That'll work. And this one here, I think I need to bring down as well. So I will get some Another piece of wire. Go ahead and tie this off down at the bottom. And then bring this one down. I need to go a little lower on that. There we go. I think that'll work. A little better. Let's go ahead and give this a little prune over here. Flatten that off. And then probably should work on bringing this one down too. Trying to think where I want to go with this. If I want to use a guy wire on this or just put a piece of wire on it and bend it down. I think it's thin enough. I might be able to just use a piece of wire. So let me get a thicker piece of wire. I've got a bunch of scraps here that I've cut off of other trees that I'll use. I think this is probably going to be, that should work. Got one. I do have a thicker one though. Maybe that might work better. That's probably going to work a little better. Okay. So I'm going to start over here. I anchor it on this branch over here. And then bring it around. And then up to this one. Get it around that branch, and then should be able to start bringing that down a little bit. Yeah, that works. Go ahead and take the excess wire off. Okay, got that down now. Can probably bring this guy down too. Go ahead and prune that up a little bit. Trying to think if I do need to bring that down. Probably look a little better if I did. Just get it pruned back a little more and just keep looking at it here. It is pretty flat looking once it gets up there, but I think coming down like that would be a little better. We'll see here. Let me move on up to the top, kind of get this thinned out. That's sometimes when I'm a little undecided on what I want to do, I'll jump to a different part of the tree, just kind of clear my head, and then go back and look at it with some fresh eyes, and maybe I see something different. But usually if I see the same thing, I'll go ahead and do what I initially thought. Yeah, wow, that top is really full. Let me get this prune back so I can see what's going on up here. And I want the top to be a little more, a little thicker, and where I can develop that nice apex, but almost a little bit too congested the way it is now. Let's see, it's looking better. It's all kind of opened up in there, and these lower branches I think were distracting, so I think we're making progress. little more aggressive on the top here, just to especially some of these thick branches, just so they can branch back out and be thinner. So I'm just going down a little deeper on the top here. Got a old dead branch in there. I think we're getting there. Take some of this back in, and we can let it branch back out. This one's growing down. Get rid of that. This is going back towards the inside. Get rid of that. Got some crossing branches up in here, so I'm just kind of thinning some of those out. Okay, I think we are getting close for this session here. Sorry, it's taking a little bit for this video. It's sometimes when you get into these big trees, it just takes a bit to get all the work done. There's a lot of branches and just a lot more to work on. I guess that's what the fast forward button's for, right? I'm just looking at the side profile, just making sure it's, you know, from front to back, from the vertical of the trunk and back to the front, to make sure it's kind of even. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I think when I repot this, I will lean it a little bit more forward, because it's not really leaning back, but with this bend up here, it kind of looks like the top comes back a little bit. So I'll probably, when I repot it, I'll just notch it a little farther forward, just so it has a little more of a forward lean to it. But it's not too shabby the way it looks. But I could just bring some of these other branches down. I don't know that I need to. long as this main one was the one I really wanted to bring down, so I'm happy with that. These other ones have kind of a horizontal look. This one still bugging me a little bit though. Could probably bring that down. I don't know though. Don't know that it's super necessary, but I think it might improve it though. So let's go ahead and see if we can bring that one down a little bit. And I think we'll just about be done for today. I'm happy with the progress, definitely. I could use this again to bring it down, or I could tie it off to this branch. I think I'll go ahead and tie it off down here to this lower piece again, just in case I need to do something different. And it'll also have a chance to bite into that branch if I don't watch it, so this just takes that out of the equation. Another thing you could do is put a little piece of tubing. I couldn't find any, but I'll just watch these, make sure they're not biting in. But the piece that you put up over the branch, you could put a little piece of tubing on there to keep it from biting in as bad. You don't need to. Like I said, it's just a little extra precaution to keep it from biting. But as long as you keep an eye on it, it should be fine. So got that around there now. We'll bring that down. What do we think? Maybe up a little bit more. You can go down in between this little V here so it doesn't slide off the branch. I think that works. Go ahead and cut the excess wire off and then tie it off here. That'll work. Doesn't look the best with these on here, but they'll stay on there for a few months and then everything will kind of fix in place. I don't like this branch here in the front that's kind of drooping down now. And it is kind of facing towards the front, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of some of that. Yeah, I think that'll work. I'll prune these back a little bit. So it'll branch off some more. Yeah, I could keep nitpicking with it, but I think I'm just going to be done for today. Because I'll always see things on it and I can address them on the next round of pruning. But pretty happy with the progress. Happy that we've got all this cleaned out now. It just opened up the tree. I think it just gives it a better structure. I could probably bend this branch down a little bit, but probably not absolutely needed right now. So I think we'll just about call it for today. Let me get the remnants cleaned off of the soil here. Just keeps it tidy, keeps any decay or anything from happening. If you do end up with a critter bug problem, get rid of all the dead leaves. They don't have any place to hide. So, okay, I think that just about does it. Very happy with the outcome. So let me give you a quick spin around there. There's the front. There's the left side. There's the back. Right side. And back to the front. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.